Rachel, tell us about the story. What's the latest?
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to become a bit messy because we saw, U.S. President Joe Biden's administration come out strong on this. But to be honest, I think people are realizing that this is really political symbolism from him because, these countries will take years for them to really build factories around these shots. And what they need is vaccines right now. So what these rich nations need to do is take some of the excess supply that they've built up and send them directly to the developing countries right now rather than sort of engage in this, sideshow, talking about these World Trade Organization things that will take really years to come true. And what Angela Merkel is saying is that you don't need to do something that actually infringes on a fundamental part of the biotech industry, the protection of IP, in order to solve this problem.
Rachel, how is China stepping up and trying to fulfill some of the supply constraints that we're seeing, particularly as a result of India having to face up to its own crisis there?
Right. So as we're seeing, the Western nations sort of discuss this WTO waiver, China actually is quietly really stepping up in supply to the developing world, especially with India having left the scene. We know that the WHO-backed COVAX initiative, which a lot of developing countries were relying on, their main supplier was, that the Indian company Serum, which of course has turned inwards with the devastation happening in India right now. China's really coming through. It's already delivering a promise of over 200 million shots, which is the most of any major country to the developing world. What we're going to see is that vaccine diplomacy is probably going to create more influence, more reliance, and maybe this is something that the Western nations need to be focused on rather than the IP waiver.